Welcome to Ark 2v2, where two teams go head-to-head in a giant war across all of Ark's maps, competing to be the ultimate duo. Everything from game, map, rule set, and even mods has been decided upon and agreed upon between both teams, meaning that the only thing standing between each team and victory is pure skill. Welcome to the Ark 2v2 series. Before we get started, I am currently trying to make it to 10,000 subscribers, and if you guys could help me get there, that would mean a lot to me, and thank you guys so much for watching. Now, this is an Ark 2v2 server. That doesn't mean there's only 4 of us on here, but it does mean that our general focus is on one other tribe of 2s, and that my general tribe of 2s focus is on another tribe of 2s. Now, there is other people in the server, but that is the main focus, and we are pinned up against them. These two tribes, my tribe and their tribe, have taken it upon themselves to pick what game we play it in, what map we play it on, and what rules we have for the entire server, allowing us to have the perfect 2v2 experience where we've chosen everything and it's left down to skill. If you guys can't tell, we chose Ragnarok and we chose Ark Survival Evolved because it's what both teams are much more confident in playing, as well as, in my opinion at least, Ark Survival Ascended is a complete disaster and is very hard for some of these people's PCs to run, so it's best that we stick it here. One of their teammates could not be on until later in the day, so for fairness sake, we started both with one person until both teams could have both people on, and then it would be a complete race from there. On top of Ragnarok, at the 1 week point of the server, we will add another map that each team will vote on each week for what they want the map to be, giving us a chance to travel to other maps and get all of it without having an entire cluster up at once for such few people. And because there's such few people, this is not going to be a high raid server. It's not going to be one where there is a ton of different little raids every day, but one of having large scale raids between the two tribes, almost like wars. Every once in a while, as we get more built up, they'll become more common, and as resources become more common, the wars will too, and the desire for war as we know what the other team has and their supplies. So now that you guys know what's going on, let's get into our plan for the server. Like I said, we only have one person at a time right now, and the chances are, because we have all played together an insane amount, I mean literally thousands of hours together in these groups, tons of different servers, we all know how each other play very well, and I can guarantee you that me and the other teams, I'm going to call him leader, Jackson, have spawned very close together, and we may see each other very quickly. So I need to get our plan in action as quickly as possible and keep my stuff away from them. Our plan is to take the Highlands Cave, but it's not going to be the main base, it's going to be a front base. We also do have a couple mods in this, one of them being teleporters. However, we need the teleporters down to be able to teleport, we can't just use the remote, which means we're going to build a front base, something that looks like our main base, but is not, and in reality, all it will have is a teleporter to our actual main base, giving them something to target and raid without us being in any danger, and also giving us a way to teleport back without them being able to ever catch up to us. And it also helps keep up the illusion very well, because they'll see us fly in and out of this cave over and over, when in reality we plan on building somewhere much better and much more secure. Though this is our plan, I am not quite at the point of building there yet, because while I will probably go take the cave, we don't have anything. We literally just started. The plan is to get the metal tools from Blue Ob, get some metal from Blue Ob, and also get a bunch of other stuff like metal, pearls, oil, anything that I can get my hands on a raft, and start bringing that over to Highlands Cave. I can run it up the hill into Highlands Cave and start to claim it. But first I need all those resources so I actually have something to claim it with, and so I can actually defend myself in the case that I do run into Jackson really early. On top of all these resources, any tames like Pteranodons, any small tames, maybe a moss chops for berries, anything small like that that we can find will not hurt to bring back, and we'll keep our eyes out for high level dinos like turtles. Even if we can't tame them right now, knowing where they're at will be a good thing. Also, something that you guys may notice, because we're all very close friends and doing this as a 2v2 server, but like I said, we've played a lot together and we all know each other very well in real life, on games, everything like that. We are in the same party together, which is funny because your hero's keeping quiet and lying about stuff that we're doing, trying to keep it from the other person, but on top of that, it keeps the tense moments where we are PvPing very high, as we can shit talk each other as we're doing it. And now that I have my raft, I am able to go get my metal tools, get some metal, and hopefully look for a tame, but generally all I need is as many things as I can possibly find. Luckily for me, I did find a Pteranodon really early that I could knock down with my fist. Nothing insane, but definitely something I need. After that, I was able to take the metal I had already gotten, make my pickaxe, which would make my metal harvesting way more efficient, get it on the boat smelting as well, and then I got something that absolutely made me panic. Water, I'm drowning. I'm gonna drown to the erythropids. Oh!
What the fuck is that?
Oh, you were dead ass stuck in my foundation.
Yeah, I am.
That's funny. Have fun. It'd be a good server start for you. In reality, I did need my stuff back, and I felt kind of bad leaving the man inside of here. Like I said, these are friends that we're playing with, but if you guys saw me completely panic, one, we haven't played Ark in a very long time. It's just something that we used to play all the time and do private servers on, and we decided to come back for it. But on top of that, each tribe has someone that is very experienced in PvP and someone that is very experienced in PvE side of things. Jackson is terrible at taming and getting resources, and Nathan, his teammate, is great at it. Jake, my teammate, is very good at PvP. I am not. So having Jackson pinned up against me was very scary, as I know that he is much better than me at PvP, but I was able to luckily use the S+ structures, which stack foundations, and pretty much Fortnite him into a location that would stop him from being able to kill me. Now, while it didn't stop him completely, it did allow me to get my stuff back, not losing anything, and I made him pay me metal to allow him to get out of there so he wouldn't have a server start where he was stuck there for the first 45 minutes. Before letting him out though, I was much smarter than to just let him out for the metal. I spent long enough talking to him and making fun of him where he thought I was just joking, but in reality, I was waiting for my bird to get up so that way I would be able to get away with it safely without him doing any damage to it. After the bird was up, like I said, I let him out for all the metal he had in his inventory as well as a bunch of the weapons that he had, and I got all my stuff back as well, which was doing pretty good considering I was the one that got killed. I then went and got a saddle for my bird, and while I was also looking for Jackson, I headed up to get crystal for soul balls and our teleporter because in our plan, we absolutely need teleporters before we can get anything done. So we need that, we need a bunch more stuff, we need to get the metal smelting, and we need to head to the Highlands cave to start getting it claimed because I have a feeling, because we removed cave damage on the server, that they might be headed to the same spot. After this first encounter with Jackson, everything went pretty quiet for a while as we both kind of just locked to get our first couple things started. I got as much metal smelted as I could, as much harvested as I could, and killed some trilobites on the beach for chitin for cementing paste, as well as some pearls and black pearls. And it was time to head to the Highlands cave. However, on my way there, I figured why not stop in the ice cave to grab the drops, as in all this harvesting I had gotten high enough level to grab even the gold ones. And in the first drop, I got probably the most lucky start to an Ark server I've ever had. Now, our stuff is capped at 755, which is much higher than official servers, but to see a Ascendant Longneck BP at 421, as well as a Pike BP, was one of the most insane drops that we will get for the entire server, and it put us in a really good position to be able to tame a lot of stuff once we unlock Trank Darts, as well as be able to have really strong weapons to help us level up and keep ourselves safe from the other team. The only thing we have to do now is keep those blueprints as well as the weapons that we make from them out of the other team's hands. I didn't get much from the rest of the drops, except for I was able to get an Ascendant Metal Hatchet BP. Now, for the percentages that our server can cap at, this isn't the best one we could get, but having it right off the bat is nothing to complain about. And the blue drops drop some extra Pike blueprints as well as some crappy saddles, but we can not complain about this first cave run. So it's time to get as close as we can to the Highlands cave and hope that nobody's gone to claim it. On the way to the Highlands cave, I also could not help but grab the beaver dams as they had not been taken and they wouldn't respawn for a while, so that would put me ahead if I could be the first one to grab them. On top of that, I grabbed one of the dead basilos on the shore to get a bunch of keratin for cementing paste, our oil, some hide for saddles if we needed it, and spoiled meat for narcotics. This was literally a gold mine for all the stuff that I needed at the very beginning. And upon arriving at the Highlands cave, it was very clear that it had not been taken yet. Whether that was their plan or not was not my problem, because at this point my stone foundations would go down, our starter base would go up, and I could block off the entrance and start getting some tames. After just a few minutes of waiting for everything to process, I was able to build my fabricator from all the stuff I had grabbed on the way here, as well as I had a bunch of spark powder crafting and narcotics, which while it was giving me a bunch of XP, I was able to start crafting trank arrows, and in the meantime gather stuff for the behemoth gate. So now we had the cave fully blocked off, our starter base down, and hopefully it would be a little bit before anyone tried to poke at us. After getting everything down, including the generator and another gate, I went out to explore and found an absolute gem. Our server caps at 180, and there was a 156 giga in the Highlands not that far from our base. Now, we do not have as boosted leveling as we do most of the other rates on our server, which means that we will not be able to ride this thing for a long time, but I would be absolutely insane to not try and get this thing extremely early, especially considering the long neck blueprint that we have. I should be able to knock it out fairly easily. All I need is some metal gates and bear traps, and I hope that I can get those down before the other tribe sees this and tries to mess with it, kill it, or knock it out first. In the meantime, while waiting for a bunch of the metal to smelt for both darts, the long neck blueprint, which was extremely expensive as you guys can probably imagine, and a bunch of other things, I also decided to go tame a horse to get narco berries for narcotics. These would help me level up, but they would also be exactly what we needed for that giga. In the meantime, while waiting for those to make, I found something extremely lucky. A 174 male pteranodon, and right next to it, a female 168, meaning that we now had a breed pair repair on top of finding this beautiful Giga, and lucky for me, I already had Prime in my inventory, meaning that we were going to be able to get these up with decently high taming effectiveness, start breeding dinos, and wait for that metal to smelt for the Giga while I made plans for more tames. Before I get any more tames though, I need to head out for a resource run and get a bunch of things, organic polymer being one. I stopped and grabbed a drop with an Ascendant Pteranodon saddle, which is amazing, and then I tamed a dolphin so I could go down and use it to get black pearls in Vikings Bay, as well as head into the tunnel under Vikings Bay to get a bunch of regular pearls, and now I had a little ocean explorer in case I needed to go back down there later, which I probably would. On the way back from getting some resources, I figured why not stop in the Dragon Den, as I'd already stopped by a few times and it looked like nests were finally spawning from the server start. And just to follow my luck with the beginning of the server, somehow I was able to find a poison egg that was level 210. Now as I mentioned, our top level is 180, meaning that we can get stuff up to I believe 222 or 226, but the 210 was insanely lucky, and upon getting back the metal was ready to make the long neck, as well as I had a bunch of spark powder crafting and gunpowder crafting for our gunpowder so we could make trank darts. On top of that, all the resources we just got would go to air conditioners for that new dragon egg, and because of how our rates are set, breeding is pretty fast, which means that we will be able to have that dragon up and be the most powerful dino on the server very quickly. Now I'm able to also make trank darts, and I can use these for two things. I can use them to go straight for the Giga, but in my mind it's much smarter to go for getting a Bronto, as I'm already high enough level to make the saddle. Not the platform, but at least the basic one will do for now. And while I can keep it in this area to get berries, it will be much nicer if I get the stuff for some teleporters, which I just got a bunch of resources for, and take it over and leave it either at Greenob or keep it in a soul ball so I can bring it back and forth to Greenob to get the flowers over there, which are absolutely overpowered on Ragnarok for narco berries, giving us plenty of room to make as many narcotics as we need for levels and to tame that Giga. And after a while of sitting around the base, the first poison dragon was out, and it looked like it had pretty good stats and enough food to survive for a while, so I could leave it for now and head over to Greenob with the Bronto to pick up some of the first narco berries. And while I didn't have a teleporter yet, getting these narco berries would be enough for a while, and I'd be able to sit over at our base making narcotics for everything like future tames and maybe even the Giga. After that, it was time to head back to the Dragon Den and check out what I could find. Jake, I will say, Jake, I want you to know I've never had a server start this good though. Oh, it just got better. It just got so much better. And that 216 was the only way it got better, because I also was able to find another 192 poison, which was extremely lucky, and on top of that I found a lightning that was a 222, which is exactly what Jake said he wanted, and this was putting us in a very good position. This server start kept getting better, we kept getting stronger, and there was a possibility that these would even be breeders, so for this next dragon run we were very lucky, and that would not be our last for the day, as we needed as many of these high level dragons as we could get, because they would be our main transportation. Now we wanted to go for the Giga though. However, I was not high enough level to make our industrial forge, which was really what we needed to get the metal going for the gates, as well as the bear traps and all of the darts and stuff that we'd need, and maybe even a long neck for Jake. So I spent about 2 hours making canoes and killing Spinos, and finally got up to the level where I could indeed make an industrial forge. We could get our metal smelting and get everything ready that we needed for the Giga, like the metal gates and bear traps, as well as all of our darts, and we could get stuff ready for more tames in the future, because we were going to go on an absolute taming spree at the end of this episode and early in the next episode. But right now it's time to go get that Giga. So I put down the bear traps, put down as many gates as I had, which I'm pretty sure I am one short here. It's nothing I can do about it, and I need to try and get it down as quickly as possible, because at this point in time, everybody from both duos as well as some of the solo tribes are on, meaning that I need to get this thing down and put away before anyone sees it. Unfortunately, the first time I tried to trap it, I put the gates way too stupidly far apart from each other, and it was out of the bear trap, and I did not have time to fix it. So I went back to base, made a couple extra gates, and got it inside the trap where I could start tranking it out, and it seemed as if nobody in the party had said anything, meaning that nobody had probably seen it, as seeing me knocking out a 156 Giga this early into the server would probably invoke some sort of reaction in the other players. But what this Giga comes out to be, how well the tame goes, and everything like that, we'll have to wait till next episode. If you guys are enjoying the series so far, this is the first episode, so please let me know if you guys have any feedback, anything you think should change, or if you are enjoying it. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm currently trying to make it to 10,000 subscribers, and if you can help me get there, that would mean a lot to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do truly hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.